Wait, who's trying to copy me?
I am today.
Mm-hmm. That's true. What's happening, everybody? I'm trying to do like a really calm start because if we get really loud and excited and say, hey, everybody, the dogs are in an especially barking mood today. So if they think we're talking to somebody, they get very angry.
It's true. I think it's because we had a house full of people yesterday.
Yeah.
So we did our first meetup of 2023, which seems to be everybody's favorite meetup. We had a little over, I think we had 25, 26 people come, and some new people, which was nice. It's always nice to have new people. And we do in January of the year. We usually skip December meetup, not just because we had our wedding and a lot of stuff going on this year, but because everybody's really busy in December. So we do our holiday meeting in January, and we do a thrifted gift exchange, which is always a lot of fun. Max that you can spend is $25, but most people spend far under that. As we know, we go to a thrift store, you can spend $2 or $3 and get something good and fun and funny. We had a lot of laughs. It's a good time. We do it like White Elephant style, or if you're from New England, we call it a Yankee swap. So we did that, and then we write down our goals for the year, our business goals and personal goals, and we kind of speak them out loud into the universe and to each other, kind of to give some accountability. And no, not the nude people. Thank you, Allison. It's a little chilly in Vegas for the nude people. Not that they're not welcome, but you know.
I mean, would you really want them all to be naked?
No. I love you, my friends, but keep your pants on, please. So I saw in the chat there. Yeah, we're definitely suspending the Colorado drinking game today. We don't want anyone in the hospital over this.
I mean, I'm not one to tell anybody what to do. So.
I mean, I guess if you can hold your booze, go for it. But yeah.
Anyway,
I am officially denying any and all responsibility or culpability if you drink yourself into a hospital bed.
So the hats we're wearing, these were made by Crystal. So as you know, I shaved my head. The hair is growing back. It is coming back. But I shaved my head for a friend, Diane. If you didn't see that video, you can go back in our videos and see the one that we did with Diane Lassonde, where Vikki shaved my head for her. She's the one who has cancer. And we're helping raise some money for her legacy fund she's leaving behind to help people at the Blind Center. And so I came up with a name for the shaved head gang with Dirty Diane's. And so Crystal had hats made, an angel shaved his head as well. Crystal made one for Vikki, and so I'm going to say, Vikki, you got an honorary one because you
did the head shaving.
You actually did the head shaving. Otherwise, these hats are only for people who are who have shaved their heads, specifically for Diane. So if anyone does want one of these hats, the rule is you have to basically you have to shave your head and post it somewhere on social media, and to help raise some money for the Fearless Living Fund in honor of Diane.
Who is still with us, I want you to understand.
She is still with us.
She is still with us. This is something that Diane is wanting to do as part of her legacy that she's creating for when she is no longer with us, and her family and she are putting something together. If you want to know a little bit more about it, it's one of our previous videos. But I do want to give an update, by the way, including a cash donation from our friend Linda yesterday at the meetup. I wanted to say that we have raised, just with that one little video and talking to friends and through social media, we've raised $1,100 so far. Nice. $1,100 to contribute to Diane's Fearless Living Fund. I will be sending her a check with money from Katy and I both. So I will be sending her a check for $1,300 as soon as she gets the account established in the next week or two. She told me to hang on to it for the time being. Well, and I might give it to her in person when I'm there in a few weeks. I will see her in Boston in a few weeks. So I may do that.
Well, and I think some friends and family also raised some money. I think I think it was like around like $2,000 total, because I know there was like
there was more. It was one person was $1,500 and one person raised $1,100 as a group effort. So there's $2,600 there. Plus $1,200 from us, and I'm sure that there's more coming in from other people and friends and family of her own. But I just wanted to let people know for accountability purposes that we've raised, just about $1,100 from everyone, and Katy and I are contributing as well. So,
and Cheryl says there's still money coming from Florida.
Yeah, you guys are great. You guys are great. Linda, thank you for the donation yesterday. I appreciate you for that. So, just wanted to let you all know. We'll be, like I said, I think I'll probably just wait and give the money to Diane when I see her in person in a few weeks, because I'll be staying with her for a couple of days.
Yep. And then also, you guys know how I feel about horror movies, and I wear a lot of horror movie T-shirts. And so I thought it would be fun to turn Diane into my new favorite horror movie. And so I'm actually wearing it right now, and she loves it, by the way. But I designed this shirt and had it printed. It's The Haunting of Diane. You can see Diane there doing a crazy eyes face. I think this looks like it could be like a legit horror film.
I think if you wear that out somewhere, someone's gonna be like, "What movie is that from?"
Yeah, right. So anyway, I designed this. And I wasn't sure, like I used Sticker Mule to actually get it printed. It was like less than $20 to get a T-shirt printed, just one printed, which is pretty good. But
I think it's pretty funny.
I wanted to test it out for the quality, and I like it a lot because it like fits snugly around my guns. Anyway, this is my Diane horror tee, The Haunting of Diane.
It's pretty fun. So that's an actual picture that she took at our wedding reception actually last month. Took some pictures, and one of the things is that she always does crazy eyes in her photos. If you know Diane, if you know Trish, that's a thing. Diane and her crazy eyes photos. So we had one that we all did crazy eyes specifically, and that's actually a very
what's awesome is because it's from the wedding. She was dressed up for the 20s theme, so she's got these awesome feathers and everything, and it actually made the effect really cool. Because originally I wanted to have it like she was going to be like there was going to be like smoke or clouds or whatever, it's going to look. But when I did, because I used like I used like Photoshop and a few different filters and different things to kind of make it look like this. And I realized that the feathers actually had a really cool effect. So
yeah, they're super fun. It's a fun shirt. And if you know Diane, she loves to laugh and be silly. So it's a very Katy.
I want to do something in her honor that was, what, when you're dealing with something like cancer, particularly in Diane's case where it's incurable, so it's just really a matter of how much time she gets to have of really quality living. It's like you can't dwell on it every single day and have it on the reality of it, because it's not sustainable, like psychologically, emotionally. Like
for
anybody, you have to have moments of like levity and just humor is the best medicine in life, and it's just kind of how humans deal with shit.
It's true.
So this is my little thing. Anyway, guys, okay, before we get into our regular show, one more thing. Wednesday, we are having a special show. I already have it scheduled, and the link to it is down below. We're having Mark Tew on from Not Your Dad's CPA. It is time. We should be it's getting towards the end of January, so we should start getting all of our 1099s from various places. And of course, there's been some changes through federal legislation and different things that have happened over the last year or so. People have been freaking out about
that rolled back. So there's always a lot of questions surrounding taxes.
Yeah. So Mark is going to come on Wednesday at 10 a.m. Pacific time, kind of talk to us in general about tax stuff and what you should be doing to get ready for that, and also talk about some of those legislative things. And if any of you guys have questions that you specifically want to ask him, this is going to be your chance to
bring him to the chat. Bring him to the chat. He will answer questions live through the show. And when we've had Mark on several times as a guest, he's our friend and does our taxes, and is taxes are not an especially interesting topic or a topic that most people want to delve into, but they're necessary, right? They're necessary in this business, and it can be a little bit confusing and a little bit intimidating and a little bit complicated. So, Mark exists to help resellers do their taxes specifically, and he'll be helped take some of the confusion and trepidation out of taxes if you're able to actually ask the questions and not feel intimidated like you're paying someone for their time to ask a few questions. And
And he's also having his big annual sale for his tax academy, and so you're going to want to tune in to be able to access that sale. So make sure you come and hang out with us, guys. Talk about taxes with us. All right, let's go ahead and get into our shows. This is our regular Sunday live haul. We break it up into 3 parts. The first part, we go over our real numbers for the last week, our gross numbers, and some of the costs that go into that. middle part of the show, we're going to look at some sales highlights from the last 2 weeks. I don't know if you pulled from the last 2 weeks, but I did.
I did not. I pulled from the last week.
All right. Well, I pulled from the last 2 weeks, so they're mostly from this week, though. And then the last part is we look at our haul for the week. I haven't gone sourcing in weeks, but I got some other stuff to show you. And Vikki, the reason we didn't have a show last weekend is because she was in Colorado with Liz going crazy. Your biggest haul yet.
It is.
Biggest haul yet.
For sure, my biggest haul yet. I won't be showing everything, obviously, today. It's not possible. So I sent home a total of 12 boxes plus 100 pounds within 2 suitcases. So a total of about 500 pounds of merchandise sourced in 4 days. I did get to hang out with my buddy Liz. We had a great time. We also were able to meet up with Kristen, Rural Squirrel, and hang out with her. Our friend Christy McLeod, who some of you may have met at the Reseller Remix the first year. She was not able to come the last year. Who also lives in Colorado, and my friend Susan Rodriguez, who's occasionally in the chat, but she used to live here in Nevada, which was actually my first person I moved to Nevada.
She made our table, right?
She made our dining room table, yeah, and has since moved to Colorado Springs as well. So we get to have a good time hanging out with reseller friends. It's one of my favorite things to do is to travel for sourcing and combine that with meeting up and hanging out with friends in all these different parts of the country that we've been fortunate enough to make these friendships. I just love it so much. You know, and Colorado, especially, as we've said many times since our first trip there, is an especially abundant thrifting area. And this is not our last trip, and definitely not my last trip. I intend to do this quarterly if possible. And maybe I won't always do it for 4 or 5 days. Maybe it'll just be a 2-day in and out. We'll see. But it was a good time. We had a lot of fun.
Absolutely. All right, let's get into looking at our numbers. What do you think? What do you say?
All right, let's do it. You didn't introduce me.
Oh, I'm sorry. If you guys are new, I'm Katy. This is Vikki, aka Victoria, which wants to be taken very seriously. AKA Copycat McGee, AKA my wife. By the way, guys, let us know how the sound is. We switched out the microphone. We have a new mic that's 500 feet tall. It's really big.
Kind of in the way because I can't see the screen at all. Just saying.
I'm sorry. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
But just let us know how we sound. If we sound good, because last couple shows we've had some sound issues. Cheryl says we sound awful.
Thanks, Cheryl.
I'm pretty sure she's being a jerk. Now, Rosie's saying, or Crystal's saying it sounds choppy. What? Okay, I don't. It might be a computer thing, or
it might be the computer. It may not be the microphone at all, because this is the second mic, and my other mic was only 6 months old. So I don't know. I don't know what to tell you guys. I
don't know if it's it must be like an internet thing. I don't know.
Some people are saying good. Some people are saying not good. I don't know what to do about it, but it's not the microphone. So I'm not exactly sure what. But
this is the same. I mean, as I followed the directions for the Yeti. I did follow the directions. So I don't know why it would be cutting in and out. But no, Cheryl, you are a jerk for many reasons.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. I'm not exactly sure what the deal is with the microphone. As I said, it's okay. If this is still sounding iffy and it's a brand new microphone, and a good one at that. The last one was a good one as well. And then it's not the microphone, and I don't really know what the heck else.
Yep, we're talking into the sideways. The micro I have it pointed straight up the way you're supposed to.
So Kayla Deb says my voice is more garbled. It's because my voice is not in front of them.
No, I have it. There's a certain setting you put it at for multiple people, and that's what I have it on. Okay, so I don't know what to tell you, but we can try a different setting and see if it'll help. I don't know. No, we're not. All right, we're plugged directly into the internet. So anyway, all right, we'll just keep going. I just changed one setting on it, but we'll see if it's any better at all. Sounds like we're underwater. See, guys, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what to tell you. It is what it is.
I think it's the internet because I set this up, and then I got us onto StreamYard from both of our computers, and I went in there, shut the door, and had her talk, and it was perfectly clear. So I think there's something going on with the computer. I don't think it has. Greg says it sounds fine. I don't think it has anything to do with the microphone. So I don't really know. All right, we're just going to go ahead and do the show. Let's look at my numbers for the last week. This is last Sunday through yesterday. 26 eBay orders. eBay actually was okay for me this week. I'd like to be able to get back to hitting 2,000 a week, but over 1,500 on eBay is still good for me. 7 Etsy orders. I did have 1 private order, thanks to Linda, who was here yesterday and bought a jacket. And nothing. Grilled Macari totally dead for me this last week. It's like I had some great sales on Macari the week before, and then nothing. So 34 total outgoing orders. eBay gross sales $1,693.04. Etsy gross sales $460.69. $60 on that private
You're
sale.
going to show the screen.
How dare you? How dare you?
See, Cheryl over here saving your ass after you bust on her.
Yelling at me. So total gross sales, at least I did over 2,000, $2,169.73. Shipping $168.68. And then you can see the breakdown of all fees, cost of goods, $360 for net total sales of $1,403.13. Gross average sale price $63.82. I liked it at $70, but I have been sending out a lot of offers at lower amounts than normal. And net average sale price $41.27.
Yes, thank you, Cheryl. I'll say thank you since Katie
Never.
She's so rude. Unappreciative of your friend. So rude.
Absolutely. All right, so that's my week. Let's look at yours.
Considering I did not list for 5 days while I was gone, this is pretty good. So I did 35 eBay orders, 10 on Etsy, 8 on Poshmark. Poshmark was a little slow that week, and then 3 on Macari for a total of 56 outgoing orders. My eBay sales, I mean, I think we went right back down to pre-Q4.
Uh-oh.
Oh, God, we just lost everything. What in the world just happened?
I think your computer shut off.
Yeah, I can't tell if anybody can see us because we can't see you. So,
hold please.
Both of my computer screens just went completely black. In case you can still see us, I can't see you. I can't see our show at all. Both computer screens went completely black. New computer, by the way. Brand new computer.
Yeah, hold on, guys. I don't know what's going on. Can you guys see us? They can see us.
We can't see you at all, so we can't do the show because we can't see the screens.
Well, like the screens went out. Hold on.
Sorry.
Why is it being so mean to us today?
I don't know what's happening. We pay $150 a month just for internet and nothing else. So you'd think the internet would at least be reliable. The computer's brand new. My screens, I have no idea why 2 screens just decided to stop working and go completely black.
Yeah, they both
at the same time. So I'm going to try to ad-lib for a bit, I'm going to say
if anybody has any questions.
Oh, yeah. Does anybody have any questions? I can answer questions. I can see the chat. Katie just pulled up the chat on the phone. So you can see me, but I can't see or anything to go over our stuff. But Cheryl says, I'm not saying it's karma for being mean to me. It probably is. It's Katie's fault. This time, hashtag it's Katie's fault. So Lori says, what's the weather there now? I think we're about 50s today. I just went out to get an iced coffee because I needed a little afternoon pick-me-up. And it was at least low 50s, I think it is. And it's bright and sunny. And the weather is actually beautiful. It's a little chilly, but it feels good because it's bright and sunny. And the puppies are good. They're not very happy being kept away from all of the people and the food yesterday, but they're fine now.
No, they were real bad.
I mean, yeah, we can totally do the haul still. You're right, Kelly. And if we can't figure out what's happening here, we probably will do just the haul and just speak into black nothingness and show you.
So weird.
I don't know what has happened. Yeah, I don't know what to tell you guys.
Very strange.
Greg says if we pay him $100 or I'll turn the internet back on. Thanks, Greg. Greg moves to Vegas and ruins everything every time. Here we go. Another Greg.
Well, it's crazy because we have 2 different screens and both of them went out at the same time. So I don't know if maybe that's a graphics card issue or what. Well, here's the problem is I can't even, because I can't see the screen, I I can't get it off shared screen. Which now I'm going to blame it on Cheryl, because had she not pointed that out, we would still be on the regular big screen and we could salvage the show. But she ruined everything.
Well, they come unplugged from the wall. It's not really possible, you know. Everything's behind my desk
Yeah,
and against a wall. The power's still on. I don't know what happened. But this also means that I can't work if I don't have
Well,
both
it was, you know, did you turn it off and turn it back on again to fix the problem? But of course, if we turn it off, then the show ends.
Yeah, I think we're going to have to try to reboot. Oh, wait a minute. We have our numbers. Crystal sent the numbers, so we can at least go over those. I can at least finish my numbers. Thank you, Crystal. So I had 35 eBay orders, 10 on Etsy, 8 on Poshmark, 3 on Mercari, for a total of 56 orders. My eBay sales, $18.55.24. My Etsy sales, $9.98.63. Poshmark, $3.53, and Mercari, $3.67, for a total of the week for the week of $35.73.87. That's a good week for not listing for 5 days. I spent $3.37 on shipping. I did have heavy items, and I had several international orders. And then you see the breakdown of all the different fees. You guys see them. My total cost of goods is $146, which, as you know, it's my cost of goods is relatively low. Almost everything I get is from the biz, whether it's in Colorado or here. So my total net sales, $26.63. My gross average sale price is almost exactly what Katy's was. So it's $63.82, which is good. To be between 50 and 60. And then my net average sale price is $47.55 after all the costs. So that was a darn good week for not listing at all, as Liz said. I did not list 5 days. I don't know. What do we want to do? Do we want to try? I'm
going to go ahead and reboot. I don't know that we're going to be able to get back into the same shows. So just, you know, give us a few minutes, guys.
We're going to try to reboot. We've got 74 people watching live right now. Just for anyone that just joined us, our monitors just went completely black about 5 minutes ago. So hang on while we try to reboot. You can still see us, but we can't see you, nor can we change anything. It's stuck on the screen. So we can't change anything to show you anything other than what is on there. So we're going to try to just disconnect and reconnect, as Gail said, and I'm going to keep the chat open here.
Yep.
And if we completely have to reboot with a new show, I'll let you guys know.
All right. Here we go.
See you in a minute, hopefully.
Hold on.
Hold on. Can you see us?
We just might be able to pull this off. Can you? All right.
Yay!
Do you need to show any more with your numbers?
Nope. I think I'm good with the numbers. Thanks for hanging in there, guys. I don't know what the hell happened.
Oh my goodness.
So weird.
Apparently, like I said, turn it off and turn it back on again was the way to deal with it.
the best IT advice ever, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just hit activate later, it goes away.
All right. Okay, let's try to get into this. Let's start with, we're going to jump into, the nice thing about having a newer computer is at least it boots up fast.
That's
Your
true.
old laptop, it would have taken us like 10 minutes to reboot.
That's true.
Anyway.
Oh, and the sound is better.
Hey, there you go. Fixes everything, right? Okay, let's go ahead and share the screen so we can show our sales highlights for the last week or two. Let's see, entire screen. I had this all set up before, but here we go. All right, what do you got, Vikki?
Okay, so scroll back up for a second so we can at least see the top photo, because for some reason it's showing the last photo, which doesn't mean anything, and no title. So this is not that this is a huge bolo specifically, but I just wanted to let people know I'm not a bookseller, right? I only sell occasional books or things that that I think have some good value. But one of the things I wanted you to keep an eye out for is specifically art books or exhibition books. When you find them at the bins or a thrift store or at a garage sale, they're usually pretty cheap, right? 50 cents, maybe $1, a quarter, something like that. I picked this up at the bins a few months ago. I think our bins books are 50 cents for soft cover. So it was either 50 cents or $1. I'm not sure which, but in any case, it's just from a Sotheby's auction. And but because of what it had in it, the subject matter it had in it, it sold for the price you see there, $55. Plus shipping. Now, this is something that you could ship. This is media mail, by the way. I'm going to ship media mail. It doesn't have advertisements in it. It is printed matter. So it will ship media mail. But $52 for, a book from a Sotheby's auction from 1985. Right?
Cool,
Not
though.
too bad. It has a lot of really cool Beatles memorabilia in it. So I'm sure that was why it was purchased. So look for good subject matter. Like if you find things from Marilyn Monroe auctions or the Judy Garland auctions or things like that things that people are highly interested in. Just a tip to pick that kind of stuff up. It rarely costs much of anything and it's a good one. So,
yep. All right. First up for me. So see, I had these all arranged so nicely. Now they're all kind of
okay, so you have to fix them for a second.
Anyway, so I had one of the things I've been doing is I went through, if you remember, I went through all of my jackets and I had like 67 of them weren't listed anymore. Well, then I went through all my t-shirts, all my sweatshirts. So in total, I got through everything. In total, I had like 260 items that were no longer on eBay. A lot of them were still on Etsy and I was able to cross post them back, but then a lot of them weren't on any platform. And so I had to go back and take photos and list them and stuff. And so I've gotten through a lot of them. I kind of pulled out the ones that I thought were the most likely to sell for decent amounts. And this was one of them. I listed it and sold it within a couple of days. So again, this was probably fell off of my eBay. I don't even know how long ago, but I'm pretty
you're
sure.
Using Photo Room, so it's within the last year or two.
Vic, I retook pictures.
Oh, sorry.
This is stuff that completely fell off of everything. And if I had to take,
it's not even on
and
Etsy.
if it's not even on Etsy, then that means it's probably at least like 4 or 5 years old, since it fell off. Anyway, so listed it. Somebody sent me an offer for 80 and I'm like, I didn't even have this listed for years. And I took the $80 and ran. I would have sourced this quite a while ago before I was really paying up a whole lot. So I probably only paid $5, maybe $10 at the most, but I probably paid like $5 because I probably got it at just the thrift store. But I got $80, but it's an awesome starter hoodie. I like the colors.
$80 from zero at this point because you pretty much wrote it off.
Oh yeah, I wrote it off years ago. So basically, like no investment for me. It's an old write-off. So next up for you.
This is the second sweatshirt that I have sold like this, and I just wanted to say I think the last one sold for a little bit more. This one had a stain on it. It was a yellow stain that I was not able to get out even with bleach, but. Tell me this is not the most ridiculousness.
It's the dumbest thing ever.
It's so ugly and stupid. Who took jeans and sewed it onto a neck sweatshirt?
Well, then it's like you have the crotch right on your chest.
Your crotch is your neck. I don't understand this. This is the second one that is sold. I have a third one. I have a third one in my closet. I don't know why. I think I bought these two.
Yeah, where do you keep finding them?
I bought the first one because I was like, this is the most ridiculous thing ever. It sold almost immediately.
It makes me wonder though, is it all from the same person or is this like, was there just like this was a thing for a short while?
I mean, I don't know. It's the dumbest, ugliest look ever. Who would wear this, right, Lori? I don't know. She's like, oh, no way. wear that. Like,
Crystal, I feel like you should start making these because apparently they sell.
I mean,
and you could like do
you
different
could probably
colors.
make them for like $4
Because
plus
all the ones that you sold have been white, haven't they?
2 and white. One that's red in my closet right now.
Yeah, see, Crystal, I think you could totally do this. Just take old jeans that aren't worth anything. I don't feel like it would be super long for you to like.
What the hell do we call this? I don't know, Greg. I called it upcycled denim jean sweatshirt. Like, I don't know what the hell to call it. That's actually Crystal's title. Sometimes I change some of the words in the title, but I'm like, you know what? I got nothing. I mean, that's pretty good. You know,
Patty says she's gonna try and make one. That'd be awesome. Yeah, yep. Patty, if you make one, then you gotta take a picture of yourself modeling it. Send it to us.
For sure. Oh, and yeah, I like crotchcore. That's good. That's good. Paula says crotchcore.
Yeah, Rosie's gonna try one. See, and I feel like you could do some really cool stuff with like different jean washes, different colors.
You could do like some of that 90s pattern denim. Like, can you imagine 90s pattern denim? I think that would be even more fun. If you could sew, clearly somebody's buying this shit. I don't know who these people are. I have yet to encounter one in the real world wearing something like this because I would probably point and laugh. However,
I love it.
They're buying them. So that's the only way I'll get a crotch in my neck, Patty says. But
I love it. Good times. All right. Anything else on this?
I feel like Patty really would have enjoyed our thrift exchange yesterday.
Oh, it was so good.
Because we had some shenanigans going on. Angel, Low Life LV, and I'm sorry if you are offended by this. I hope you're not. You're probably not offended by this. However, Angel decided to bring as his gift a thrifted mug in the shape of
the handle.
The handle was a male anatomy. Male anatomy.
It's called a penis. It's called a penis.
So it was a funny gag gift coffee mug, and the person that ended up with it is our friend Sandy.
And she said, she opened it up and she said, I love it. And she proudly held it up, and it was great. We were all laughing a lot. It was a lot of fun.
And everybody was trying to. It was pretty funny. Yeah. And then the person who ended up going home with it is Carrie.
Yeah, she stole it.
If you guys watch The Niche Lady and know Carrie, Danny's assistant, she was the penis thief. Yeah, and it was pretty funny.
Yep. It's very windy outside.
It is very windy. That's the issue.
All right. Next up, I did not sell it for this much. I wanted to bring some money in. We're going on a 10-day trip, so it's like 10 days. It's not listing, not really working. So just, accepting any fair offers. I've had this for a while. I got it at a Buffalo exchange. I paid like $15 for it, and we told you guys
in California
at a Buffalo exchange.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying
Buffalo
exchange in California.
Yeah, yes,
one of our sourcing trips.
Yes, it was one where you actually got some stuff too. But anytime you can find these polo shirts like this that have the rainbow stripes across the chest. Doesn't really matter if they have something, if they have company logo or anything like that. Yeah. I don't think it doesn't take away or add to. These sell for a lot of money. I could have sold this for more, but somebody offered $100, and I'm like, well, it's $100. So sold for $100. Again, I paid like $15 for it, sold it for $100. But if you go and look at vintage rainbow polo shirts and look at sold and sort by highest, you will be shocked how much these actually can sell for. But I was happy to get $100 out of it. So
it's true. The chat's pretty funny, but it's true. Angel was trying to dissuade Sandy from taking that box because he was horrified that he was going to offend her, and he blushed so hard. And she took it in stride and laughed, and it was funny.
Sorry if the sound is wonky, but it is what it is. All right. Next up for you.
Sandy's kids and grandkids would be horrified if they were able to read this chat right now or see the video of it.
All right.
Anyway, so this is something that I actually picked up from my friend Susan Sanders. I bought a whole bunch of inventory from her over the summer, I think it was. And I think it averaged out to like $4 or $5 an item was what I purchased. Some things, sold for a little bit lower and some sold for whatever. But this actually, I took an offer on this. It sold for $75. And it's only like, if you scroll down a little bit more, it has the measurement in the listing. I'm not sure how big it is, but scroll down just a little bit. Yeah, so it's 9 inches tall. So it's not a very huge vase. It looks bigger because obviously the picture is taking up all of the real estate. But it's this really pretty Navajo, and it's hand painted. It's Southwest style. All those things that I used as keywords. Obviously, I would not know any of this behind it. It could very well be a Pier 1 imports thing if it hadn't been signed on the bottom. So on the bottom, it was signed. If you click on the last photo, I was able to look up. It was probably made somewhere in Arizona or somewhere where there's a large Native American population, Navajos in this area in the Southwest. So it was, maybe it was made as an arts and crafts area, maybe some shops, whatever it may be. It was sold somewhere where they documented it. So it's very important when you're selling Native American artifacts that if you're going to call something actually Native American, or you're going to use a Native American tribe name, you have to have documentation that it is of that tribe. It's very important for eBay's rules anyway. I'm not so sure about any other platform, but eBay is very, and I think in general, it's important to honor that heritage properly. So you need to make sure if you're calling something Navajo, you're calling it whatever type of tribe or Cherokee, whatever it may be, you need to know that it's actually attributed to that tribe in some way. And having that signed is enough documentation.
Have you checked this yet, or is this one still in
the
laundry room?
It's shipping tomorrow.
Okay.
So yesterday.
We have a few items of Vicki's inventory to replace because it's like fragile and out of the way. All right. Next up, I've got this dead stock Mickey Mouse Disneyland T-shirt from the 80s. I got this from you can see it still has like the tag on it. Look, we could have gotten it for $9 back in the day. I got this from Jesse at Yesterday's Fits. I paid $30 for it, along with some other Disney stuff that was also dead stock. I sold some of it, and I sold this for $100. I think I sent an offer out for $100, and somebody accepted it. But again, I paid $30 for it, turned it into $100. It's such a cool shirt. I love it. I love this. Cute. It's got rainbows too.
I'm surprised that I think that if that had been red, Teresa would have stolen that. Teresa is in Disney today, by the way. She's Disney World, not Disneyland. She's been in Disney World for the past few days with Trish, and I'm super jealous. Katy, not so much, but I love Disney World, and I have not been in probably 15 years, maybe 20 years.
Listen, I'm not a huge, I never went to Disneyland when I was a kid, and it's just never had like this huge. No, I'm telling a story here, lady. No. And then we went to Disneyland. I understand that Disney World's like 5 times bigger, but it's just, for me, Disney doesn't have this magical place in my heart. Now, I love Universal Studios, and when we go to Universal Studios, the horror nights, that's like my jam. And guys, for those of you who come to the Remix or come to Vegas sometimes, so you know how we have Area 15, a huge warehouse, all kinds of cool stuff. They're expanding.
Mega Mart, you might see ads.
They're expanding, and they're adding. There's a whole warehouse, and they're adding a Universal Studios. It's basically the same. Obviously, it's the same company, but it's the same kind of people behind the horror nights are going to be doing a year-round thing there, and it's going to be like something like over 100,000 square feet. There's restaurants, bars, all kinds of stuff like what you would see at Halloween Horror Nights. Only it's going to be a year-round thing with regularly changing
content. I seriously hope that we can get locals year-round passes or annual passes.
Yeah, and then at night, the bars and restaurants and stuff change to a haunted theme. So I think it's like during the day, it's not. It's obviously there's scary stuff, and they're going to make it even more scary at nighttime. But yeah, you're right. They have to have it. If they don't have an annual pass, I'll be so mad.
Oh, I'm so
because that's going to be something where like anybody who comes to visit, we're going. But it's like between that and the escape rooms that we have here, and like the haunted museum, we have so much cool stuff for people who are into horror stuff. So I cannot wait. Now that for me is like my Disney. So when I found out it was coming to Las Vegas, it's the first of its kind. It's the first of its kind. It's never been done before.
It's exciting. I'm kind of excited to see it. Patty, next time you come to town, we'll take you.
Yeah, absolutely.
If it's here.
Yeah, hopefully. I mean, I think they're breaking ground on it soon. So I'm guessing it's probably not going to be ready for like another year. But
we're not going anywhere.
Yeah, we're not going anywhere. All right, let's get back to the shoe. Mickey Mouse, and here you go. Get out of here, Southwest.
Go back up so you can see it. So this is a bins find. This is a local bins find. This was listed for only about a week. This is a San Marcos blanket. This one did not have tags left to it, but I very distinctly know San Marcos and Beaver as far as their construction and how they're made. It's important. If you can show the corner of this blanket, San Marcos has that heavy, thick, braided trim, so to speak. Not really braided, but it's textured in a way. I don't know how much we can zoom in on that. But the one thing that you can make the difference and differentiate between the two is beater lack is bound with fabric that looks almost like felt, and it's bound in a square. It's a square corners, it's smoothly square corners. And San Marcos has rounded square corners, and it's more of a thicker braid to it. So anyway, if you ever have a question or concern and want to know if something is beater lack or San Marcos, and you don't know how to tell just based on the feel and the construction, feel free to send me a message, because once you discover and realize what blankets are San Marcos and beater lack, it's really easy to distinguish what they are. And I sell them all the time. Mm-hmm. So I did pick this up at the bins probably maybe a month ago, maybe less, but it was listed for maybe a week. And it sold for $97 and change, and free shipping. I don't know why I had free shipping on. I think it's because this was an especially heavy one, and I still can't edit business policies because they fucked that up like they do everything on eBay. I can't edit individual business policies. So in any case, it went to California, so it shipped for like $9. Mm-hmm. So
yeah, we know there's issues with the sound, guys. You just kind of
have to deal with it. Yeah, nothing we can do about it. Yeah. Nothing on our end that we can change or fix.
All right. All right. So this last week, I've been working on going through. I collect vinyl records, specifically, mainly movie soundtracks, a lot of horror stuff. And so a lot of it I purchased to resell, and I had a couple of things listed, but I kind of been slacking off on it the last couple of years. And so I went through my whole collection and kind of picked out the ones that I thought were worth putting the work in to get them listed, and was able to pull out like a good 20, 30 albums. And so I started doing that, and I've already sold a few of the ones that I've listed recently. So this is Silent Hill, which is a PlayStation video game. It's the soundtrack for the first one. And you know anything about records, they put out like limited editions in like different colors. So you can see this one is white. And so I had to go and look and see, kind of do my comps and everything, and use different stuff like Discogs is a really good site to go and look and see what the actual value of records are, because they have a history, and look at per album, figure out exactly which one it is, and see the history of the sales and how many are available for sale then. And anyway, I listed this one, and it sold for the price you see there, $119.99. I bought this when it came out a couple of years ago. I paid $30 for it. I bought a couple of them. I have already sold the other one a long time ago, but so I sold it for $120 after paying $30 for it. So a lot of these ones go up in value later on, if you want to take the time to like figure out which ones you think might be more popular and buy them before they sell out, because they usually sell out the same day. The limited colorways. Anyway. That.
All right, so this was something I picked up in the bins as well. I actually posted this in the Boss group 2 days ago. So I posted it in the Boss group on Friday, asking if anyone recognized the pattern, because it looked very much like a Waverly pattern to me, Waverly fabric pattern. These are handmade curtain panels. They're very, very nicely made, fully lined, very well made, very common for certain brands like Waverly and Crowskill and whatnot to create coordinating fabrics for people to buy to make curtains or make other things in their home to coordinate. Anyway, this was a popular pattern in the 90s. I couldn't find the exact one though. And Lori D'Agostino, as well as Peg Gagliardi, who watch our channel and are friends of ours, sent me information about this and correctly identified it. So thank you for that, ladies. And it sold, this is literally just one curtain, one window. So 2 panels, that's it. Picked up at the bins. They're fairly heavy because it's good quality, about 4 pounds total. And I took an offer for $100 in the same within 24 hours or 36 hours. So sold for $100 plus shipping, and they're going to Australia. So the buyer paid shipping, and they paid a lot of shipping at £4. So the pattern is very familiar. There was a lot of companies that used patterns like this: Waverly, Crowskill, Broyhill, and apparently Queensland used patterns like this in the 90s. That country, cottage core country floral fabric was super popular in the 90s. They had a collection of fabric very similar to this. So anyway, again, picked up at the bins, paid $6 or $7 based on weight because they were heavy. Sold for $100 in 36 hours. So
Nice.
like, don't discount the linens. I tell people this all the time. The linens are a very important part of your thrifting adventures, whether it's at a garage sale, at a thrift store, or at the bins. Linens are important. People buy linens. You just saw 2 sales for over $200 based on $10 of inventory cost.
Yeah. See, Kristen's in the house. Hello. Don't worry, Vikki hasn't gotten to her haul yet to show off the stuff she got in Colorado.
I have not. And hi, Robin, in the chat. She's like, I'm changing my name to Jody because everybody says, hi, Jody.
All right. Next up, I've got this Pendleton wool car coat jacket that I picked up not very long ago from yesterday's fits. I paid like $30 for it. These always do really well. I think I sent it off for $125.
That's a nice jacket.
I know, it's really nice. But I wanted to flip it quick, so sent an offer for $125, and someone accepted it. And these things, I mean, they always sell for over $100, guys. So if you can pick it up for a decent price, I mean, like I said, I paid $30 for it, which is a huge no-brainer when it comes to this kind of Pendleton. And sold it very, very quickly. I think I had it listed for maybe a week, but really awesome vintage Pendleton. Love, love, love. All right.
Hey, everyone. I just wanted to put this out here while we're chatting. And then, I mentioned this yesterday, and this is how I found Crystal in the first place, as far as based on her helping me, things like that. I'm going to put this out there again. I am looking for a second Crystal. So if anyone happens to be local that watches this and does want to do drafting and listing for me, hit me up privately. I am looking to hire someone else. Not that Crystal doesn't do a wonderful job. She does. I wish I could have her full time. She just has too much on her plate and can't do any more than she already does for me. Frankly, like I said yesterday, she doesn't need me. She doesn't need my money to work for me. She really, at this point, is doing it out of a favor and kindness in her heart because she loves me and I love her. So I need another one. I need another Crystal that I can have do 50 to 75 listings a week for me.
Yeah.
And hit me up if you haven't seen this and you're interested.
So, question: what makes it a car coat? You might be able to explain better than me.
I think it's a coat that hits length on a man. It's so they're not sitting on the bottom of the coat. I think it has more to do with the length, and it's a boxy style, if that makes sense. It's the length. It's like, it doesn't go to the waist, and it's not a trench or a 3/4 length coat or an overcoat. Car coat is based on the length, a boxy style that hits around the hips.
It's like, I know what they look like, but I don't know how to describe it. All right, your turn.
So this is something that I ended up getting. I believe this did come from the Clothing Vault, who lists perfectly his previous company. I've mentioned several times, if you watch our channel, I was able to acquire all of their inventory when they were done being sellers, because List Perfectly became their full-time careers. So this is one of the items, and it's sold for the price you see there, $129.95. It's a really cool 1970s marching band varsity sweater. It has it's wool, it's heavyweight, and it has all of the pins on it and the date on it. So that's how I could date it. It was just pretty cool. It's fun looking. So, but see, it also has issues. It has, some holes and some moth holes, but it did not hurt the reception and the purchase price. So
nice. All right. Next up, more records. So this was the 2019 7 Inches a Month Club for No Effects. Actually, I bought it specifically to resell it. And then what happened is I should have had 12 records total, but I never got the last 2, and I didn't realize it because I had bought them to resell them. So when I get them, I just kind of stuff them away. And so I wasn't really paying a whole lot of attention, and I never got the last shipment. I don't know what happened to it. I couldn't find it before we moved, and then when I moved and packed everything up and then unpacked everything, still didn't find them. So I'm pretty sure I never got them. Pretty sure you get screwed. Yeah, and then it was too late. By the time I realized it had happened, it was way too late for me to say anything about it and try to get them. So whatever. But I paid
kind of horrible.
Okay, I literally didn't know that I didn't get them. So anyway, so I only got 10 of the 12, $60 to be in this club. I was still able, I took an offer like within a 24 hours of listing these, I took an offer for $140. I still made money selling just the 10. But every other month I got a package with 2 7-inch records in them. That's what. Yeah, and they'll have like, I think it's like fan art or something like that they use for the covers. But anyway, yeah, so I probably could have sold it more like $250 if I had those last 2.
No Effects is a band.
Yeah, No Effects is a band. They're a punk band. But yep, so it's my latest sale, the record sale.
So this was a sale that happened on Etsy, as you can see. This is one of those free giveaways from the 70s or even early 80s. It might have been very early 80s from YSL or Yves Saint Laurent. Opium is the scent, so it's a perfume. So you would probably got this if you bought this at the department store and it was a perfume and it was a free giveaway. It had some faded spots, which I mentioned and show in the video in the photos. I'm not sure if I picked this up at an estate sale or at the bins. Either way, I definitely didn't pay more than $4 or $5 for it. And it sold for the price you see there, $250.
Crazy.
Shipped to Paris, France. Customer paid for it to go to paid shipping to go to Paris, France. Personally, I think it's an ugly umbrella. But what I wanted to do is don't discount umbrellas. There are certain umbrellas that I've sold for well over $100 and $200, and it's umbrellas like this. This is just a very weird, off-the-wall kind of thing that most people wouldn't look twice at. Look twice. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. So Crystal says, fun fact, a car coat used to be called a motoring dress. And yes, it was only worn in the car to keep you warm before there were costumes. Look at that. Look at you, snotty pants.
Look at you, fancy pants.
All right. So next up is this Olivia t-shirt.
Olivia is one of my favorite artists. People that know me know that.
Mm-hmm. I got this in Colorado. Big surprise from that really big bulk buy that I did. Now we averaged all of my stuff that I bought in Colorado averaged out to $12 a piece. I didn't for this one, but like I said, everything averaged out to $12 a piece. This one I listed up quite a bit, but I got an offer for $218. Of course, I hopped right on that, so I sold this for $218, guys. But just a really cool artist tee. Very, it's got wear, it's faded, it's got holes.
I love Olivia. I love Olivia art. Awesome I have all the books. I've met her. I had a book signed by her. I'm a little bit of a fangirl. Beautiful piece of art hanging in my office that Katy bought me for Christmas from her too.
Well, and fun fact for my horror film fans, the model that Olivia used for this shirt, you can see her name in the title there, Linnea Quigley. Linnea Quigley, if you remember the movie Return of the Living Dead, she is the woman, the actress who, when they're in the cemetery, she talks about how her fantasy is to be like naked and eaten alive by old men or something like that. I don't know, something crazy. And at the end, she does get ripped apart by a bunch of
old zombies,
and then she becomes a naked zombie. So I was very excited when I realized that she was the model for that shirt because Return of the Living Dead is one of my favorite movies. So there you go. Oh, there you go.
So this is a funny story. These shoes were shoes that I picked up at the bins. I paid probably $3 to $4 based on the weight at the bins. Our bins are $1.89. They $1.69. And these shoes are between 1 and 2 pounds. So no brand name that really means crap, right? But they're very cool looking, and they have some yellowing around the row that you can see. And the brand name is not even Charlie; it's C-R-L-Y. But they're nice leather shoes. So here's the thing: so I sold these about 6 months ago to somebody in Paris, and then about a month ago they were returned to me. Never got picked up. Now, when that happens, and it's been several months, it's too late for the customer. I'm certainly not chasing them down because they don't pay attention to their purchases. So here I have free inventory that's already been paid for to relist. So I relisted them. I relisted them about 2 weeks ago. And guess who purchased them for the second time?
Same person?
Same person. Same person purchased them, all going back to Paris. They're back on the way to Paris, but it's the same person has now paid over $350 for the same damn shoe.
That's ridiculous.
Never mentioned to me that they were the same person.
I mean, maybe they have a lot of money, and maybe they just assumed it was their own fault for not getting it. Or they don't even realize that who knows? Who knows?
Yeah, it's kind of weird, right? That they're, I don't even know. So it's really weird. So now they've paid over $350 for the same pair of used ass shoes with no brand name. It's not like they're like Hermes shoes or something. And I paid about $4 for them. So thank you very much for buying them again, Mr. Paris. And never mentioned anything to me. The only reason I recognized that it was the same person is because it comes through on Etsy. They have that little star that says if they're a repeat buyer.
You can see their
so I
order
looked
history.
to see the order history when it's a repeat buyer because I was going to put a note in the package. Thank you for shopping with me again. This time I chose not to.
I was going to say,
just in case I chose not to do it again. But yeah. Tommy says, I always hear you say modern size fit. That pertain to shoes as well. No, those shoes are pretty universal. Shoes haven't really changed sizes too much unless we're talking women's shoes and women's shoes from like the 60s and earlier. Women were smaller and their feet were smaller and a lot of them were narrow. So there's that. But men's shoes have stayed the same. Women's shoes have stayed the same. Shoes from like the 30s, 40s, 50s, and even early 60s, maybe a little bit different. So a lot of times you're going to get people that will ask you for measurements on shoes when they're that old.
Yeah. Well, don't shoe sizes kind of correspond to inches closely or no?
Not really. Not really. Only no, they really don't.
I mean, as far as our sizes, not like obviously you
No, not even. No, they really don't.
All right. Okay. Next up, I already sold the suede leather Western vest. Now this is a vest. This is one of the items that was in my inventory that had fallen off when I went through all my jackets. So I went ahead and got this listed. Now it does have the bottom snap missing. And it had some wear, but it's pretty okay. But I listed it, and like within the day of me listing it, I think it listed like 100. The guy messaged me and asked if I would take 75. And again, it's been sitting in my closet for years now. I'm like, yeah, I'll take 75. It's really windy out there. Again. So I went ahead and sold it for 75 and got it out of my house. So I was pretty excited about that.
Very Yellowstone-esque.
This doesn't have any tags. I think it was probably handmade.
A lot of shearling stuff was handmade. It was a big deal in the 70s and even the early 80s to hand make things out of shearling. It was a thing. I don't know who was doing it because I was a baby, but whatever, somebody was.
Fancy shirt.
So this is a shirt I picked up at the bins. I did show this in a haul quite a while ago. It might have even been close to a year ago. If you look at some of the photos, you can see the back. They were these very, very heavily stained nylon, like polyester shirts. They're women's there too. So very lightweight. I paid $1 for both of them. They both sold for over $100. They just had these really cool, funky graphics. This did sell for $150 plus shipping international.
Crazy.
They were heavily stained. And one of the good things about polyester and nylon is almost anything will come out of that fabric.
Mm-hmm.
Almost anything. So if you pick something up that is, if you get it cheap enough and it's put a lot of stains on it, but it's made out of that polyester or that nylon, do not give up. And I will make sure that it gets, you can make sure that it gets very easily cleaned. It's always machine washable. You can put stain stick all over it. These came out perfectly clean. It was a little wrinkly, but that's it.
Nice. All right. Next up, this cool Oliver print shark t-shirt. This is from Marine World Africa. It's really cool, like hand painted art t-shirt.
That's cool. I think you showed it.
No, I probably showed it, but no, I did not get this one in Colorado. But I got another one with this tag on it. I think these might have been made in Colorado. I'm not sure, but because I've gotten several of these before, but this one's really cool. Anyway, it sold for the price you see there.
When Shark Week is that coming soon?
I don't know. $84.99, and I paid like at most like $15 for it, so really good flip. But yeah, I love the Sharky stuff. This is a really cool hand painted shirt.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right, next up for you.
So I just wanted to show this is one of the lesser known and lesser desirable type of dolls that come from Madame Alexander. The 70s dolls made by R&B, B, and Madame Alexander. They're not quite as popular, and they're very easily found. If I say, still pick them up, especially the Madame Alexander ones over the other brands. But this was a doll that I picked up literally exactly a year ago because it just came up in my memories. I picked this doll up on a sourcing trip to Colorado where we get to hang out with Annette and Zafon. And I paid $25 for this doll plus a musical stand, and this sat for quite a bit. It actually just got cross-posted fairly recently to Poshmark, where it sold yesterday. Actually, sold for $70. This was a full price sale on Poshmark. Doesn't happen very often. It offers as low as $35 with no bites, but somebody on Posh was very happy to get her.
Nice. All right. Next up for me, my 24-hour Church of Elvis t-shirt.
I love that.
So the Church of Elvis, this is actually from Portland. It was kind of like an art gallery store, kind of cool, funky place. Also, my aunts got married there back in like the 90s, I think. So 24-hour Church of Elvis. Here's the back. It was a gallery of art for the smart.
That looks like the same tag as your last art tag.
No, that's the back.
Okay.
The tag this is the tag. Hello. You get a look
All
at
right,
it.
I see it. Juanita tag.
I've had this for a while, and I actually relisted it on eBay at a much lower price. I've sent out offers for like $100 less, and it sold on Etsy for the price you see there, $169.99. I probably paid like $10 for it. I love this shirt. It didn't seem like anybody else appreciated how freaking awesome it is.
Well, clearly this person
finally
appreciated it.
Finally, somebody appreciated it, because even when I was sending out like low offers, like no shirt, but it's a cool shirt.
Yeah. So Christy says some people say on dolls like that last one, and I agree with that. A lot of people do, and that one had some haunted. Because it was a Madame Alexander doll, it didn't quite need the extra kick of being haunted. But I'm not above that. I would and have done that on certain ones for sure.
I mean, I haven't noticed any uptick in Elvis stuff because of his daughter dying. I think it doesn't seem like that happens quite as strongly as it used to when a celebrity dies, and particularly if it's a family member, to the said celebrity. So.
I did see an uptick in Elvis sales around the movie when that came out a while ago. That, to be fair, someone else, Kristen mentioned that. So I did when the movie happened. The movie had gotten so much popularity.
I was super irritated because Jeff Beck, the guitarist, just died last week, 2 weeks ago, and I have this really cool vintage all over print T-shirt that I got in Colorado. And I was kind of paying attention to what was going on with sales of his stuff. And if you go and look at the solds on eBay, it's like a bazillion of those unlicensed. Basically, they copy the graphics from vintage T-shirts, and then they sell them for like $20, $15 to $25, and they put vintage in the title. And people who are wanting to pick something up, they don't give a crap, so they're just buying them. It's just like completely flooding the marketplace with them. It's just really irritating because it's like it makes it harder for people like me that are trying to sell our stuff. And it's not even like it's licensed stuff. It's like unlicensed. Like they're just people print, and those people are getting really crappy T-shirts. They just take a picture of a T-shirt from the internet, take the graphics. It's not going to be a high quality print at all. So
yeah, it's pretty shitty.
Yep. Yeah, he died like last week or 2 weeks ago. All right.
This was another full price Poshmark sale. So Joseph Banks is not a brand that I normally pick up. It is a high-end expensive brand as far as men's clothing. It's the type of stuff that you're going to go to Joseph Banks store, and it's their own store. You're going to buy usually suits, and they sell shoes and just like in some things, some casual wear. However, I did pick this jacket up at the bins, and it is that really, really soft, like goat skin leather. You know what I'm talking about. It's really, really soft. It's like butter. So I picked this up at the bins. I probably paid $4 or $5 for it based on weight. It actually had a little hole in it. You see the fourth photo. There's a little tiny hole in it. Did not go all the way through, and nor did it make a difference. And I figured I would probably sell this for $60, $70 on the old eBay. But it wasn't listed very long, and it sold for full price on Poshmark for $130.
Nice.
I can't get $130 for a brand name in many cases. So, it's a nice quality. It just doesn't have huge resale value. It's kind of like a lot of department store brands for women that just don't have great resale value.
Yeah. All right. Last thing, my showgirl shirt, guys. Now, it is very sad that I sold it. I picked this up in Colorado. The problem is it fit me, but just barely. It was a little short. Like, I'm not going to be
You have
able
a long torso.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm not going to be able to wear this regularly. Like, it's just so I wore it the one time. I know. I loved it, but I'm like, it's not like I can't wear it. So what's the point? Anyway, I got it for $50. I got it at, I can't remember, maybe Kristen or somebody knows.
Leech Pit.
No. This is the one I got that, it was the garage sale, I think is what it was called, where they had the bar.
Oh, the collective place.
Yeah. I think it was called, wasn't it called the garage sale? Is that right? Is that right, Liz?
Liz is gone.
How dare she? Anyway, I think it was called the garage sale, but it was like this building. It was a bar, it was open late, and you could go in, and there was like upstairs. If you spent like $200, you got like a free shot or something like that. It is the greatest movie of all time. Yes, I was wearing it. I wore it to the bins. It's true. Anyway, everything there was pretty overpriced, and this was hanging they had it hanging in the window, and it was only $50. $50, which to me, I'm like, I think I could sell it for a lot more, and I want it for myself. But I sold it for the price you see there, $135. So I made some money on it, and I'm a little sad it's late, but hello. Sorry, calm down. Jeez. So that's it.
That's all we got for our solds. I mean, I apologize that we had to, ad lib for 10 minutes and restart. You were a little bit behind. But
yeah, you do still have to come over and watch that and Gremlins. I think that's a good double feature, Jody.
It's Versace.
Okay, so we're getting so not even close to how it's done. All right, we're going to get into our haul part, but hold on, I got something to say. I want to say something. So when we went to Colorado at the end of October, we were like, oh my God, this is the greatest place. It's a thrifting mecca. We need to come like every other month. All of our sourcing needs will be met. It is like the answer to all of our prayers. It's so amazing. And then we found out that really like all that vintage stuff that comes into the art stores, they save it up for the whole year. And it only comes out at a specific time of year. So we were a little bit worried. Like maybe when we go back at other times, it's not really anywhere near as good. And it's like our prayers really were answered. Jesus hates us and just wanted to get our hopes up for nothing. So now you have gone back. You didn't have that magical holiday time of year where all the vintage was. What is your assessment? Is Colorado still our mecca of thrifting?
It is.
Okay.
100%.
Tell us about it.
So I did not get as much of that beautiful, beautiful vintage, high quality, crazy show-stopping pieces that I got last year in October at the art stores, because as Katy said, they do hold it all back for September and October. However, I did get plenty of good vintage and good brand names, both at the bins and at different art stores and a couple of Goodwill stores. So really, the stuff is there. It's absolutely there. Even the stuff that I did not buy at the bins, and because we chatted about this, because the bin stuff is so cheap. It's hard to walk into a store and spend $7 or $8, even if it's something you're going to sell for $50 or $60, when you could have gotten that same piece in the bins probably for $1. So it does kind of sour you a little. But if I went to a thrift store here and found any of the things that I purchased, for $7 or $8, I'd be freaking thrilled, right? So a lot of you asked, or a few of you asked, like, what does it cost? So I shipped home 400 pounds of clothing and linens. And I carried home 2 of my suitcases that were chock full for 50 pounds a piece. Everything I brought was in my carry-on. So Southwest, props to Southwest. It's the best way to fly when you're doing a sourcing trip domestically. So it cost me $270, $270, plus boxes and packaging materials. So let's call it $300 to ship everything home. And then 100 pounds went home with me for free. And I spent under $1,500 in merchandise in my inventory. So it was a total of, let's call it $1,800. I'll round up. $1,800 to get everything to my house for 500 pounds of inventory. Now, if you average in that most items are under 2 pounds, let's call it $250 let's say it's 300 items. 300 items at so let's call it $6 an item. Okay. If we're averaging, let's call it $6 an item delivered to my door. And then I pay $3 an item to Crystal to do the drafts and listing. So that's $9 an item in for very good quality items. $9 an item in. I don't do free shipping. I do charge for shipping. $9 an item in. My average sale price, as most of you see, is between $50 and $60 a wheel. So, I mean, for me, that's a great ROI.
And you're set for a while.
It's also probably, and I'm being very conservative with those numbers, because the reality is when you look at our numbers and numbers week after week after week, you will see that my cost of goods is well below 10% of my sales all the time.
Yeah.
And I'm just using some conservative numbers. So if I spent, what I said, on the inventory itself, I spent say $1,500, and I'm probably going to realize at least 10 times that money. So that's $15,000 in inventory. Yeah. Easily. And I was selective. I did not pick anything up that I will sell for less than $40 to $50. Not a single thing.
Well, and you sourced probably twice as much stuff as you did last time. Last time I was there and our stuff together, I think you got more poundage than we even did together last time.
And that part of that was because the last time we did a lot of side sourcing to go to vintage shops for Katy, because obviously that's where her stuff, more so than at the bins. Where for me, I can source at the bins very heavily. And that's harder for Katy to do. So a lot of that was, we had time that was dedicated just for me, really. And Liz got quite a lot, which is so unlike her.
But in the future, because of the way you guys were doing the bins, in the future, if I was there with you, I could really drop you off.
Absolutely.
There's a bins in Aurora, for instance, and that's where the guy is located that I do my buy from. I could just drop you guys off at the bins because you're going to be there for a few hours. I can go do my main big buy, and then later on do the same thing with the other places I go to. Because now I know specific places, spots that I want to make sure I hit. And it
so
would mean that we would figure out our time.
Yeah, it would mean that we wouldn't. I don't want to say waste our day, because it's not a waste. Because
you're trying to get in
wastes a lot of time, catering to my needs for sourcing too. So, that way we can work it out. Yeah, between between Liz and Kristen coming to meet us and stuff, there will be a car or someone that would pick you up or take you, or you could borrow Liz's car or something. It would work. Anyway. So let's get to some of the haul, right?
Real quick though, I wanted to answer Jody's question. Flying is definitely going to be better because listen, first of all, you got gas, you got time. You got to remember, as a reseller,
time is money.
As any small business owner, time is money. And so if you're putting in 20 hours basically of driving, that's 20 hours you're not doing anything else. Whereas you're here in Vegas, so you're the same as us. It's a very short flight to Colorado. And honestly, the flights are very inexpensive.
Yeah, it's less than 2 hours to fly. The flight is less than 2 hours. I'm a very early morning person. I hop on a 7 o'clock flight in the morning and I end up there. I'm there by 10 o'clock Colorado time. So I still have a full day to source my very first day. I definitely recommend flying if you're close enough, regardless of where you're going to source. Fly if you can. Fly Southwest if you can. If it's not within a 45-hour driving distance, fly.
Yeah.
Now, for us, we don't pay for flights because I use my Southwest business card for everything. And I haven't paid for a flight in 3 years, and I earn a companion pass every year. So Katy doesn't pay for a flight either. So I definitely, I fly for free, and 100 pounds per person gets to fly home with you for free.
2 days losing 2 days to driving, that's a lot of time. That's a lot of time when you could be doing a whole lot else. So let's just say, like, how many items can you get listed in a 10-hour period, or let's say an 8-hour period? Or if you're just sitting down, you're only listing, let's say it's 30 items. If you're just sitting and listing, it's like, okay, 60 items you could have listed in the time you were just sitting driving in a car. I mean, to me, it's a no-brainer because it's really not very expensive.
Yeah. I'm going to have you do your haul first because I'm going to go to the restroom. I drank too much coffee.
All right. And see you later.
So Katy will do
They're not even going to be paying attention because all they're going to be thinking about is how they can't wait to see that Colorado haul. Anyway, guys, so get out of here. Anyway, so like I said, I haven't sourced in a few weeks. Part of my New Year's resolution, or one of the goals I set for this year, is I wanted to go through all my inventory, figure out all the stuff that's not listed, get it listed, get rid of it if it's not worth listing. And so I've done a lot when it comes to that. And then also I wanted to go through like stuff that I've been wanting to get up and sell, for like my records. So like I said, the other day I went through all of my records and I went through them all, looked them up, looked at comps, figured out which ones were worth selling. I mean, if it was only going to sell for like $30, I'm going to keep it because that's probably about what I paid for it, and it's worth it to me to keep it because I'd rather just have it in my collection. But if it was selling for double, triple, quadruple what I paid for it, I would much rather put it up for sale and sell it, especially the ones that I specifically bought because I wanted to resell them. And so I started doing that. I've got a few that, like I said, I've sold the last week. I've got a couple more that I still need to ship out. But I'll show you. I've listed a bunch of them. I still have probably half of my stack that I need to get through and list. I just thought I'd show you, something a little bit different. We're just doing T-shirts. And I found for the most part, people who collect records, they care most about the condition that the records are in, as opposed to whether or not it's still sealed. What you'll find if you sell records, there are some collectors who want you to actually open the sealed package and take out the record so it doesn't, because sometimes the record, kind of when it's moving around inside the sleeve, can actually break through the protective sleeve on the inside, and the hardwood collectors don't want that to happen. So they actually would rather have it be open, the record taken out and shipped somewhat separately from the rest of the package. So honestly, it's more about the condition. So if it's in like brand new condition, but the cellophane on it is open, I don't think it really takes away from the value of that very much. All right, I'm just going to show you some of the things I have. So I have this Beetlejuice album, and there's a couple of companies that do these really cool like special edition versions of albums and soundtracks and stuff, and one of them is Waxwork Records. So this one's from Waxwork Records. So I had bought this and another, I think 1 or 2 other copies of it that I sold pretty much right after I got it, because I would try to sell an extra copy to kind of cover the cost of my personal copy. And so, but this one, when I looked it up, this is actually selling for like $150. So I would much rather have the 150. But all of these I paid at most like $30 for. So like brand new, this was $30. I've listened to it a couple of times, and then now I'm going to sell it hopefully for 150. But usually with the comps, they're pretty accurate. And like I said, discogs.com is a really good site to go to if you're ever looking. If you ever like come into possession of like a whole bunch of records and you're trying to figure out what they're worth or whatever, it's a really good site to go to because you can find out exactly which edition that you have. You can see the whole sales history. You can see everything about it, all of the information on it. But it's great to see that they actually do sell. You can open an calendar and actually sell records in there, and so you can see how many are available to be sold. You can see, like I said, the whole history. You can see the highest amount the one's been sold for, the latest one that's been sold. So there's a lot of really great information on Discogs. Discogs, DISCOGS.com. Excellent for researching records and help you figure out what it is you actually have. So next up, I have Big Trouble in Little China. This one is from the company Mondo. They're another one that does like really cool special edition records that mainly focus on movie soundtracks. And so like a lot of them are
What I miss.
Oh, so much exciting stuff. A lot of them are, the vinyl is colored. So like these ones are red with gold splatter on the vinyl. And just really cool.
I just want to address that, Bonnie. We're well aware that the sound is not working right. There's nothing that we can do about it.
Come hang out with us in our cave, guys. Discogs. Tell me if you didn't hear that. DISCOGS.com. Anyway, this particular title is selling for like, I can get like $120 for it. I haven't looked it up quite yet.
So the sound is not us. It's not nothing that we can control. It's a brand new microphone. We've replaced the microphone, and
it was sounding good right after we rebooted. So I don't know what to do. I think it's our internet, honestly. I think there's something new. It's something to do with our internet. But it is what it is, guys. Next up, I've got this awesome. It's like a reissue of Danzig Lucifage 2. Or Danzig 2 Lucifage. I actually really love Danzig, the first 4 albums. So I think this is a fantastic album, but this is a reissue. I think it's on color. I can't remember what color it is. This one goes for like $150. It's right here. Again,
And what did you pay for it?
The most I paid for any of these was like $30 at most. Some of them only like $20. Here I've got this AFI album, really cool. Another punk band that I very much enjoy, or at least their earlier albums. We're still punking, not so much goth for 14-year-olds. The Art of Drowning. This is like another reissue in a really cool colorway. And this one goes for $150. Yeah, this one I paid like $20 for. So, yeah, mother.
It's like the only Danzig song I really know. It really is all brag, Tommy. I'm telling you. It's funny because here in Las Vegas, we only have one option for internet. There's really no other option for us other than the one that we use, which is why it's so ridiculously expensive because they bet you over a barrel. But we pay like $145 a month just for internet.
It's true.
And yeah, it's still, no idea. Our speed is great. It just, for whatever reason, it only messes with us when we're doing YouTube.
All right. Hello, any of you video game players out there? Remember Earthworm Jim? I used to love Earthworm Jim. It's a really, really fun game series. This is like an anthology, like double album, different colors. I think one of the records is green and one's pink. And this one I have listed for $180. So I'm telling you, there is money in records, guys, depending on what it is. Next up, I have this awesome Friday the It's like a campfire edition. The record's like a really cool look. This is another one I paid like $30 for.
That's cool. Did you not keep one for yourself on that one?
On this one, no. For $120. The only one, there's a few that I'm definitely keeping that are worth a lot. Like I have Reanimator, the original Reanimator album from the 80s that's worth over $200. No way in hell I'm ever going to sell that.
It's hard to find.
Well,
Jody, we'll have to talk about that. I have T-Mobile for cellular. I didn't realize they had an internet option.
Dusk Till Dawn. Check this one out. It's the Blood Splatter edition. See how the record looks like it's got blood splatters on it?
Blood Splatter edition.
I have that one listed for $120. And then I'm saving this last one. So this one's really interesting because I actually got this.
RoboCop?
No, Pacific Rim.
Come on, tell me that didn't look a little bit like a RoboCop.
No. Pacific Rim is a Guillermo del Toro movie. So the interesting thing about this, I think I might have gotten this in Arizona, but I can't remember exactly. I think I got in Arizona. We went to Zia Records, and I literally bought like 4 copies of this because they had them on sale for like, I think they were under $20 a piece. I already sold the other ones. This is like from a few years ago. This is a limited edition of only 500 copies. The records are silver, and you cannot find this anywhere. It's not listed. They don't have any available on eBay. There hasn't been any on eBay in the last like over 2 years because there's literally no sold for it. I was finally able to find them on Discogs. The only ones that are available, there's like 2 of them that are available starting at $271. I think there were some on Amazon, but now they're sold out, but they were over $250. So I currently have this one listed at $250 because it's just, you cannot find it anywhere. We'll see if I sell it for $250. I don't know. I'll let it go for a while. I'll find out. But how cool is that, guys? $250. So that's it. That's my little
record haul
for my personal collection. And I'm going to work on finishing up listing those over the next couple of days. And now Vicki's going to get to the real meat of the day.
Just so Katy knows that box cutters are not just for cutting yourself out of Spanx. I am going to cut open one of the boxes.
All right.
From Colorado. Not that I don't know what's in these boxes. Do I know what's in this specific box? Not a clue. So you may get some good stuff. You may get some not so good stuff. You may get some great stuff.
All right, let's see it.
So hold on 1 second while I cut into this. This is a 21-pound box, 19 by 17. It's the Walmart medium-sized boxes that I use. And I don't know what's in here, but we're going to find out. Pew, pew, pew. All right, so first thing on top is all my extra storage bags, big bags. But so first I'm going to show one thing.
Those are from
this is from a different box. This one thing is from a different box. So this was a bins purchase. This is a vintage, I believe it's 1940s or 50s satin dress. This is like a hunter green, and it has a very, very tiny pattern. It's like a hunter green. It's beautiful condition. It has these flip cuff sleeves. Almost like a French cuff, but without like, cufflinks. So this is just gorgeous in perfect condition. Metal zipper, metal snaps, very fancy little buttons on the front. They have kind of like a zircon on them. So I do think that this is 40s. It's my first guess. I'll do a little bit more research. It does have a tag in it. So there is a brand. Again, let's average all my stuff costing $6 per item. And I'm going to list this for, at least if it's 40s, I'm going to list it for about $200. If it's a little bit newer, maybe about 150. This one came from our buddy Matt King, who is a local reseller who came to our meetup yesterday. He had rescued this from the bins in general. Like, I'm going to give this to you.
Isn't King?
Sorry.
I can't remember, but it's not King.
Sorry.
I'll tell you, Matt.
Anyway, he's been to the remix the first both years, and sorry, I don't know if that's our friend in California. Yeah. Anyway, he rescued this from the bins, and he's like, I'm not going to list this. I don't know crap about it. So for you, and it's this gorgeous 1960s dress. It's made out of a wool fabric, and it is this like it's almost like a flannel, like a thick flannel wool in this brown color with like some orange butterflies, really pretty buttons. And it has kind of like this mock neck with a metal zipper up the back. Really, really pretty. Yeah, Matt King is in California. Sorry. It's just a really pretty dress. Like I would wear this if this fit me. So I didn't pay anything for it. It was a gift. Thank you. He picked up the bins, and I'll probably list this for about 150 as well. Let's see. What else do I have in here? What else? I have. Okay, so this is one that I picked up for. This was 50% off. So this was $4 at a Goodwill. This is just the brand 11s. I know it sounds weird, but that's 11s. That's the brand. It's just a really pretty tweed skirt with some lace and satin detailing on it. An skirt. It's got some bedazzling and beading. It's kind of a higher end brand. I bought this just based on style. It has nothing to do with the name for me, but I'll probably list this at about $50 to $60 for. The brand it's an Anthropologie brand. Thank you, Turtlebug. Yeah, I figured it probably was, but
it's Matt Kimball.
Sorry, I don't know why I said
just so you get for the correct credit.
In case you're watching, I firmly apologize. I'm sorry. Oh, so one of our themes was, well, if she was watching this, she would laugh, but one of our themes was there were certain brands that I kept finding on this particular trip, certain brands and styles of things. And one of them is the brand Matilda Jane. Matilda Jane is a brand that was kind of like Hannah Anderson before Hannah Anderson turned into like a mommy-daughter clothing brand. That's the tag there. We went out of business recently. They're really for early 2000s, late 90s, early 2000s. It's not a brand that is a ton of money, but it sells consistently. So I had paid, this was a 50% off color. I'd paid $4 for this. And this is just like an army green jacket with just a really, really cute boho kind of vibes to it. Patchwork. And then it's got some kind of like edging on the shoulders. It's just really cute. And it's like this army khaki green. Again, something that if it were big enough, I'd probably wear this. Unfortunately, it's a size small, so that would not fit any part of my body. One leg, maybe. I don't really know what I'm going to list it for. Probably 50 at least. I love it. Really pretty. Let's see. This is vintage, vintage. It made in the 80s, made for Bonwit Taylor, which was, I'm sorry, was kind of a high-end department store. Again, didn't buy it for the brand, but I bought it for the style. It's just an oversized, big shoulder pads.
It's got some sweet shoulder pads.
Sweater. It's just a black and white kind of a, I don't know, almost like a confetti pattern with these big wider sleeves. This is kind of a really good shape for right now. These oversized sweaters with leggings and skinny jeans are very popular again. Maybe $40, $50 sweater. Nothing earth shattering. Let's see. Again, I don't even know what I have in these things. Oh, this is one of my only vintage T-shirt finds. Look at the face she's making. She's like, "What? You wanted me to go a vintage T-shirt, and it's not for me." So this is on the Stedman Made in the USA tag. I would say this is 80s because it's the one that has the chest sizes as well as the regular size. It says it's a size extra large, but then in parentheses, 46 to 48 chest. It's just a goofy shirt.
Okay, I survived what?
I survived Ouray, Colorado. So it's like in a Jeep. It says like something about the Imogene Pass, Black Bear Pass, Corkscrew Pass, $1 Million Highway, Engineer. I don't know. It was just kind of like a goofy shirt. I paid $1.50 for it. Nice. It's white. It has spots. It needs to be bleached, but I do think all the things will come out of it. It's just dirty. Again, with the Matilda Jane theme, these are Matilda Jane sneakers. I would have kept these if you were my size because they look a lot like the next pair of sneakers that I'm going to show, which I have like 15 pairs of. So I had paid, these were 50% off. I had paid $5 for these. They're in really great shape. They're burgundy with just really cool flowers on them. I don't know, $40 is what I'm guessing.
Kelly says it's Ouray.
Okay, whatever.
She doesn't care, Kelly.
I don't care.
Kelly,
whatever.
Kelly doesn't care.
Kelly. I'm never going to pronounce it or need to pronounce it.
She doesn't care.
So whatever.
Doesn't care.
Okay, so these I paid $5 for as well. Now this is a brand that I buy a lot of. I actually own, like I said, 15 pairs of these in all different styles and colors. These are just Keds, but they're not normal Keds. So this is what they look like. They're Keds by Rifle and Paper Company. Rifle and Paper Company, anything sells because there are people obsessed with the patterns, such as myself. Like me. Like me. Rifle and Paper Company. This is what it looks like. That's what their little tag looks like, Rifle Paper Company. And this is a collab.
She's wearing them right now. She should show them off.
And these are my oldest pair, actually. They're quite comfortable. But they're just a pair. I've got like 15 pairs of them. They're the most comfortable shoes because of the way they're thick and stacked, and they all have, they're all made with flowers. Now these are, I do have this pair in my size, in this colorway, but these are not my size.
She likes her shoes stacked.
And these will sell for $40, $45.
Well, what about, are you even going to show the ones that did you already show the ones that you got for yourself?
You want to go get them? They're in the bedroom.
Yeah, it's like, hello.
Okay. Hello. Bottoms as you walk away. All right, so as I'm going through everything, I'm looking at this bin and this box, and it's not as big as you think it may be because it has a lot of, I have some big stuffed animals in it. So that's why it was a lighter box at 21 pounds. So this was a little stuffy that I got for $2. It's just FAO Schwartz, but look at how cute. It's Bambi. It's really Bambi. It's Disney brand, but it's a little fawn, little doe deer. Anyway, FAO Schwartz. They have the little gold button. I don't know if this one has any major value or not, but in my mind, before I even look at any comps, it could be like a $200 one, but in my mind, it's like $30 to $40. So it's just cute. Now, this was one I was happy to find. This one was actually cost me $3 at the Arc. And I'm going to take the tag off for a second because I want to show you this tag. So this is also a stuffy, super lightweight, very soft, very floppy, big size, probably 20 something inches, 24 inches or so. This is a brand by Toys R Us called Animal Alley. So if there are some people that that sell plush exclusively or primarily, and they talk about these things, but as we know, Toys R Us is closed. Animal Alley is a popular plush brand, and the larger Animal Alley plushes are popular. This particular guy, this cute little soft fluffy puppy dog, is worth probably about $100. And I paid $3 for him. So that's why I brought him home, even though he took up some valuable real estate in the box. Look at how cute he is.
All right, Danica loves the shoes. I'm sure the new ones.
Okay, so these are the ones that I found. Well. Yep, I paid $15 for these, which I was happy to do because they were practically
yourself.
For myself, retail, I paid retail for most of them.
Didn't you pay more than retail for a pair when you tried to replace one?
No. I've never paid more than retail, but retail for these are between $50 to $80, depending on when you get them. But these I got for myself. These are also Rifle Paper Company. I paid $15 for these. They're blue, if you can't tell. And they've got these really cool satin laces. These were like, this is what the soles looked like. This is what the shoe bed looked like. I mean, they're like brand new on the inside.
Those are cool because they don't have the white.
No, they have the whatever, the rubber gum soles.
What else I got?
I can tell where I got things, by the way, because if it has a tag on it, I can tell if I got it from ARC or Goodwill. So most of the things I do remember where I found them at first. So this is, I've talked about this brand a lot before. This was from ARC. This was $4 and nope, it was $2.50 for white tags, 50% off. This is Lanza Salzburg. Lanza Salzburg, for those of you that have seen the show, you've seen me mention it before, but if you haven't, this is what it looks like. Lanza Salzburg are these modest flannel nightgowns, great shirts, super popular.
They're perfect to wear when you're eating Salisbury steak.
Weirdo. You're going to get, nightgowns, as you know, are usually very cheap at estate sales or thrift stores or, yard sales or anything like that. But when you find specific brands, they sell very well. Island West is one. Lanza Salzburg is another one. So Lanza Salzburg, you're going to get probably $40 to $50 for this. It's really, they're soft. Think like grandma nightgown, grandma core, granny core, cottage core, all that stuff. But you know what? They're super soft and warm and comfortable. And that was a big brand in the 80s.
Let's see. What else?
What else?
I don't know. I got more.
Not too much more, though, so you're safe. Let's see. Okay, so this I did pick up at a Goodwill, so I did pay the Goodwill price on this. This one is $4.99. This is vintage, 80s, made in Hong Kong, probably closer to early 90s than the 80s. Cacique, which is a Lane Bryant brand, but it's Cacique Intimates, and it's just a robe. It's really fun pattern, really bright pattern, and then it has like terry cloth lined. It's a great shape. Really fun, bright patterns. I love bathrobes. Bathrobes sell really well for me as well. Super, super cool. I love it.
Love it.
Probably sell it for like $75. Now let's see.
So I got these little things, these little guys.
Guys, girls, guys. I think they're all, two are girls, two are guys. So these are just handmade, hand crocheted like dolls, but they were at the bins and they're super cute. So I had to get them. Look how cute. The outfits are like hand crocheted or handmade. They've got this little yarn hair and these cute little faces. Their faces look like Hug a Bunch dolls, so I'm sure they were a ripoff from that in the 80s. And this cute little one, look, she's holding a big ice cream cone, and she's got some crazy hair happening. And then this one, I think it's supposed to be a baseball bat.
That baseball bat has elephantitis.
keep your mind out of the gutter, guy. Oh yeah, see, there's a little baseball with it. The baseball bat is kind of, I don't know, very phallic and ridiculous looking. But anyway, I'm probably going to sell these guys at a lot. They probably cost me a whole buck, and I mean, I'll probably list them for 30. So this might be one of my lower priced items. I just thought they were cute. Let's see. This one I picked for myself. I paid $3. It's in the box. It's just a Hallmark Rudolph. I have a misfit tree. I did not have this particular ornament. Yeah, I'm going to keep that one. So he might be worth something. Some of these are worth quite a bit, but I don't have this one, so I'm going to keep it. Yeah, so Eric, I do know that they're handmade and they're made from a doll, from separate pieces.
Let's see. And then I have 3 pairs of shoes in here that I purchased at the bins.
So bins are a great place to source boots. Nobody wants to buy boots. And they especially don't want to buy boots in Colorado where they are plentiful. So I'll take your boots in Colorado because snow boots, hiking boots, and heavyweight work boots sell year round. So these were a pair of boots. The brand is Ahnu, AHNU. These are a woman's hiking boots. So they're suede and water resistant, and they come up pretty high. I haven't checked out this model again. I'm cold opening these for you. So I don't know. I do know it's a good brand. I do know they're well made. Unfortunately, shoes are the things that can be solidly comped, unlike a lot of my vintage stuff. So I can't just make up a price for these. Now, will I price it on the higher end? Yes, they're in great condition. I paid about $4 for them. I don't know what they go for. Someone in the chat that has time to do a quick Google or sold search for me can let me know what an average price is. But it's a great brand. In my head, I'm thinking $75. I could be off. They could only be 30 now. I don't know, but they're great boots. And they were an unusual colorway, which I like. So also, I picked up, these are women's, well, I guess they're kind of unisex, but these are, Kristen was actually right next to me when I grabbed these. These are Doc Martens. These are kind of like a 3/4 length boot, almost like it goes to, it's bigger than a shoe, but shorter than most boots. But they're Doc Martens. They are the made in England Doc Martens, which are the more desirable ones. They are probably vintage. There's only a very small percentage of Doc Martens that are still made in England. And these are on the smaller side. I would say these are probably smaller than even what I wear. So yeah, size 7 in women's and a size 6 in men's. So I will be listing these as women's for sure. There's not a lot of size 6 men. So yeah, Thrift Store X. Yeah, there's sometimes the right on fabric or on the shoe itself. I don't really care. I don't bother to try and take them out. Jody says 80 plus on the boots. Yeah, so thank you. I wasn't too far off when I said 75.
You're so smart.
That's a pretty good guess on my part.
Smart.
I'm wicked smart. Anyway, if these were actually my size, I would probably wear these. This looks like something I would have worn. I'll be able to date them once I take a little bit more look at them, but I think they're kind of like 90s. These are a little 90s. Yeah. Okay, and my very last pair, not quite the moneymaker that it used to be, but again, if you can pick them up for $4 at the bins, these are Sorel boots, and they're specifically like the Sorel duck boots. So when it's all the rubber on the bottom, this is just dust that you're seeing. It's not real discoloration. So once I wipe those down, they're going to look like they're brand new. But they're Sorel boots in great condition. Again, I don't know what the resale is on this particular model, but they've got to be more than 50. So I'm not entirely sure. They're a good size. These are a men's size 11, which is perfect really for shoes. And I'm going to sell those. So, and that's what I got. That's all I got to show you guys. That's it for the first box.
Yeah.
Some pretty good stuff, I think. Julia, I understand that looking for the shoe mate in the bins makes me want to stab myself in the eye with a pen. It's probably the most frustrating thing. I do love when they, you guys will get a kick out of this. I do love when they have the elastic bands roping them together, or they have the zip tie putting them together. Now, funny thing, I did pick up a pair of cowboy boots that had the elastic band around them, and they were Lucchese, which is probably one of the most desirable cowboy boot brands ever. I was super excited. They were a size 12 men's. They were black. They were some kind of leather. Lucchese is known for using high-end exotic leather, like they'll use like elephant and like weird ostrich and stuff like that. Yeah, I got them back to, I didn't super look them over. I got them back to Liz's house. It was 2 different boots. Same color, same size. Someone stuck the rubber band around them, and man, am I pissed because they would have been great boots that I ended up paying $4 or $5 for that I threw away.
Yeah. Well, I remember when we were at the bins the last time we went to Colorado.
Sure, yes.
We were there with Kristen, and she found a boot, and then there was like a guy who found the other one. I think they did like a coin toss to see who got to take the boots. She lost.
Oh, really? No, I don't remember that.
Yeah. And I think they were pretty good. They were pretty good boots too.
Anyway, I'm a little bit bitter about that. I found these great boots. They were linked together. I didn't check because I was buying so much stuff that I basically only checked for stains on things and boots. I was like, oh, whatever. Mm-hmm. As long as the sole was intact, which I turned over and it was. 2 different left boots, different models, different leathers, same size. I am not going to go through the hassle of trying to sell one left boot for amputees. Don't get me wrong. I've done that before.
The problem
is almost always nobody fucking reads. Mm-hmm. And it always comes back to bite you in the ass because people don't read. Now, I have had a few successful sales, and you know where I've had them? Poshmark. Because Poshmark does not allow buyers to be idiots. They're like, oh, it says right here that there's only one and it's a left, and because you don't read doesn't mean you get a return. So Poshmark protects your butt. Nobody else does. So just for fair. Yes, the cowboy boots, Kristen. They were both left boots, different models. I'm a moron. I should have looked.
Oh.
Anyway,
all right, guys.
That's my first box. That's my haul from Colorado, box 1.
We'll be back next week with more stuff from Colorado. But before that, remember Wednesday we're doing a special show, 10 a.m. Pacific time, 1 o'clock in the afternoon Eastern time. We're gonna have Mark Tew from Not Your Dad's CPA. He's gonna come on. We're gonna talk about taxes. So I know it's not the most fun subject. However, if you are feeling anxiety, thinking about doing your taxes this year, but you want to get them done, unlike us, we wait till the last minute, and you have some questions, please
don't do as we do. Do as we say.
Yeah, or just do what you want. But come hang out with us on Wednesday morning, and we'll talk taxes, and Mark can answer our questions. It'll be so much fun. You know, Mark is always cool guy, but definitely come. If you're thinking about taking his tax academy, he's going to be.
Or if you're thinking about using him to do your taxes, Katy and I both used him for the last 4 years.
He seriously is the best. So, all right, guys, we will see you in a couple of days. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Get some work done if you plan on doing that. Eat some good food. Take a nap. I don't know, all that stuff. Kiss your puppies.
All that good stuff. I'll see you guys later.
Bye.